The West Live. The West Live with Ben O'Shea.
Now, we woke up to the eastern states being just a little bit further away today, at least when it came to the time difference. Daylight savings started today, kicking off an age-old debate in WA. And there's no doubt which side of the fence the leader of the Daylight Savings Party, Wilson Tucker, sits on. Thanks for joining us, Wilson.
G'day, Ben. Not a problem. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. And now, as a one-issue party, this is really your time to shine, isn't it?
Look, it is. It does pick up a little bit of press whenever the East Coast transitions, and certainly there's a lack of daylight saving in the West, so it's a good opportunity to reignite the debate and try and spruik the benefits. Absolutely.
And what are you hearing from people?
Look, people are ready for it, and that's what I've been sort of saying since the start. There has been a fresh call for daylight saving over in Queensland, and Queenslanders, it seems, do understand the cultural, the lifestyle benefits rather, and then the economic benefits for businesses as well. So it's good to see that they're taking the front foot approach here and really advocating for daylight saving. And I think it's time we did the same in the West.
Now, the obvious question here for you is, you got into the upper house with just 98 votes, an incredible result, but does that imply that there is much interest in daylight savings, or is it a reflection of the fact that maybe you're flogging a dead horse?
Look, it's just a reflection of how people vote in WA. Certainly the minor parties don't pick up a lot of the percentages, less than typically 10%. So although people might support daylight saving on paper, it doesn't necessarily translate to votes. So I wouldn't look too deeply in terms of like my result and my election as to if people want daylight saving in Western Australia. We have had 4 referendums, on the issue, and with the demographic shifts recently, and we're going to see that certainly in the 2021 data, people are more centred in the metro areas along the coastline where they do get the benefits of daylight saving. So I think we are ready, and the data and the people are ready, and it will reflect the same.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. And do you think it makes a difference looking at age demographics? So younger people keener on daylight savings?
Look, typically, yes, and we see that with the referendum data. Excuse me. And typically, people in the regional areas and the older generation are a little more change hesitant and not. They don't want it for whatever reason, and certainly in the regional areas, you don't typically see those benefits as much being realised as the metro areas. But certainly the younger generation, absolutely. And WA, given that we have been closed off from the rest of the country, we have seen a lot of population increase. A lot of people have been moving from the East Coast, from places that had enjoyed daylight saving, and so they've come over to WA and they've realised, we don't have it over here. So there has been a cultural and demographic shift in WA, and I think we are ready for it.
Yeah, it's certainly a pain for business. You have to deal with operations in Sydney and Victoria. And so now what can you do about it, Wilson? Because as we all know, Mark McGowan has control of the lower house, the upper house, total control of the WA Parliament. So there wouldn't seem to be much opportunity to introduce change. So I'm curious to know, what are you going to be doing?
Yeah, look, certainly with the numbers and Labor's historic win right now, it's kind of the adage that Labor gets what Labor wants. If Mark McGowan and the Labor Party don't want daylight saving, it is going to be difficult. But certainly as a member of Parliament, I can introduce a bill. I can get the government to sort of show their cards on the issue, whether they want it or not. I think that's still a powerful statement in itself. And I can certainly try and reignite the conversation and spend the next few years talking about the benefits. And it's not the only thing I'm doing, but certainly as the leader of the Daylight Saving Party, I will try and fulfill my mandate and advance the conversation. And hopefully, if it's not in the next 4 years, hopefully in the near future, daylight saving will become a reality in Western Australia.
Yeah, well, I think it's a debate that's important to have. Wilson Tucker, leader of the Daylight Savings Party, thanks for joining us on the West Live.
Not a problem. Thanks, Ben.